All right, Kate, we put together this little visual aid to go over some of the stuff that we've gone over briefly in your visit here, mainly to explain how we do business here and why we think it's the right way to do business. Most people don't like the pressure negotiating process of a typical dealership experience, so we've listened to that and we've changed the way we do things. We're negotiation free because we've found that's what our guests prefer. Our prices are determined by product availability, market demand, vehicle age and inventory, and also determined by incentives and rebates. It's all done up front. It's all posted in all of our cars and online. We're always researching actual sale prices of vehicles in the market, so we're basing it off of data. We know that we still have some guests that do like the traditional negotiating process, car buying process, and we don't discourage that from happening. The way we handle that here is a 7-day price protection guarantee. So if you go out shopping for a vehicle and you find one cheaper, bring us a purchase order that shows what they're selling you that car for, and we'll cut you a check for 110% of the difference. So if it's your goal to negotiate, you can still do that and get the best price here with Bergstrom. It's important to me that you know that I'm not paid on commission. I'm paid on volume and guest experience. Our interests are aligned from the very beginning. All I want to do is find you the car that suits you best at the lowest possible price. Another thing we do a little different here, we're going to go out to a third party. We're going to let the internet bid on your trade-in. So we'll do a Kelley Blue Book instant cash offer. We'll get that number from them. We'll send the information over to our buying team, and then Bergstrom will produce a trade-in value for your car as well. You'll benefit from the higher of the two, and it's also negotiation free and straightforward. You told me you were going to finance just like 90% of our guests do. We've tried to streamline that process as well. Basic information about loans. I know you said you want to go 60 months, so if you go shorter term, you tend to have a higher payment and a little lower interest, and the opposite is true as you extend out your term. Lenders can like to see 20 to 30% down, but that's something we can get more into as we go on. Rates are determined. A lot of people think it's just a credit score, and yes, that does have something to do with it, but there's lots of things that will determine your program and your rate. So things like the year, make, model of the vehicle, the amount that you're trying to borrow, how long do you want to borrow it, how long have you worked at your current job or lived at your current residence. Those things will all have impacts on what the bank program will be for you. And I know you told me, based on what we talked about earlier, that you fall somewhere in the middle here based on your credit situation. So going over what that means for you, generally speaking, going out 60 months, you're going to be about $20 a month for every $1,000 you borrow. Now that can vary slightly based on what we talked about earlier, like the year, make, model of the vehicle, if it's new or used. But as a general rule, over 60 months, you'll pay about $20 a month per $1,000 you borrow. So you borrow $10,000, you'll have a $200 car payment. And I know you did mention that you might be interested in leasing, so we'll go more in depth about that later. But leasing is a great way to require less money down for you, lower your monthly payment. You also get into a new car every few years, and you've got guaranteed future value in that car. Just recapping real quick, we've got all of our prices displayed up front. I'm not paid on commission. We've got flexible financing options for everybody. We've got a great service department, 7-day, no questions asked guarantee, return policy. So if you have any issues with the car, you just don't like the way it looks in your garage, you can bring it back to us. We want you to be happy. And then also our price protection. So if you're somebody that likes to negotiate, we encourage it, and we'll honor pricing based on our policy.
Perfect.